injured here. 3v3 Argent Shelf blue team. Putin plays a force commander, offensive melee, quite versatile, can tank, disrupt and even support. This is Dark Angels DLC. Alongside we have Vlad as a plague champion, starts off range combat, can get melee weapons, really good damage potential and utility, can put up turrets and repair. F22Raptor is a Commissar Lord, good offense and support, fights melee, starts off with a shield. Death Core of Krieg DLC. Angry Bird on the red team is a Inquisitor, offensive commander with some support, great crowd control, starts off in melee, can get some range weapons. HansMoleman is a Warlock, offensive melee, great mobility with fleets, really nice tanking and destructive ability later on. And rounding out red team, NoisyElmo is a Chaos Sorcerer, shooting some doom bolts there. Good offense and disruption, fights melee, has a bunch of spells, now in retreat. West side is turning red. This is the contested victory point. We have a multi-last turret up. Tactical Marines on the field of Putin. Chaos Space Marines for Vlad, forcing off that Warlock. An unbalanced map, say many people, since these central resource points are closer to the south team. Sentinel's going to go down here. No, just about gets away with some repair. One hit point this thing has and gets away, unbelievable. Going to lead these Space Marines into this multi-last turret. Force Commander now under a bit of pressure, needs to retreat. Has some help though from Chaos Space Marines and the Plague Champion. Really nice special attack from this Inquisitor. We have some deathly black guardsmen here. Absolutely completely jet black. 472, 500, a 2-to-1 cap for red, and I think he's going to lose this turret. Blue team comes to decap, red's natural doom bolts go in. Got a pretty nice hit there on the Sentinel, backs off. Commissar Lord already has his power sword. Shuriken cannon on the field for HansMoleman. Havoc's on the field also for NoisyElmo. They're going to need some setup team counters on the blue team. Some grenade launcher heretics perhaps. These guys could get them. Most likely we're going to see catacombs as well from F22Raptor. Plague Champion getting in behind the turret now, as are these Tactical Marine. Scouts are not though. Almost wiped out. Here comes the Chaos Sorcerer to try and defend this turret. Forces off the Tactical Marines. Plague Champion now in the turret's line of fire, but it's been scuttled there by Angry Bird. Heretics now in melee with the Plague Champion. Plague Champion not the toughest commander to start off, just 650 hit points. Now we have a fight over this power. Tons of models taken out by the Immolator Blade. Can be really nasty versus Guardsmen if they're not paying attention. Shuriken cannon set up here, suppressing those Chaos Space Marines and forcing them to retreat. NoisyElmo getting stuck in, gets stomped for his trouble. Heretics retreat with just 4 models. A pretty hectic opening. Very fluid play from the center to the west side, which is uncapped right now. 465, 484. Angry Bird doing quite well with just double guardsmen and that turret. Most likely going straight for catacombs. No, just going for another turret. Havoc's now setting up here. Still don't have grenade launchers for these heretics. In fact, we have an aspiring champion. They might struggle to get through 2 setup teams. They do have catacombs which can grenade launch them in the face. West side turns red. Force Commander just about gets away. Scouts need to be very careful with that multi-last turret and those guardsmen there. But we do see a flamer will make short work of the turret. Does not last 2 seconds. And now guardsmen foolishly trying to fight Tactical Marines in melee, run away. West side will turn blue. Heretics with their aspiring champion turns them into a pretty nasty and vicious melee unit. Relatively fragile though in tier 2 when you get artillery around and stuff. 1-to-1 cap. Red team retaining these central resource points. Havocs have been infiltrated. Now the worship stops and Commissar Lord can tie them up. Nicely done by F22. Chaos Sorcerer takes a lot of damage and they're all forced off, and blue team are going to be able to push against red's natural again. 432, 484. That small passage of play, the Havocs not firing at the Commissar Lord, allows blue team to completely push here. There is Immolator Blade again. Ouch. Might wipe these guardsmen, get away with a single model, that's the Sergeant, but they are taken down in retreat. First squad loss, I think, west side is red. Those flame attacks, really bad news for those guardsmen. Taking a lot of damage here though, double guardians here, both with battle equipment. Now pew-pewing at the force commander. They do put out some pretty nice DPS, those guys. And west side stays red. Blues have decapped their natural though. Catacomb on the field for F22Raptor pushing against generators. Commissar Lord meanwhile tying stuff up in melee, but now we see a full retreat. Did his job, decapped this, took down a commander and harassed generators. It's a long retreat back though. Havoc setting up right in the face of this node, trying to take it out a bit quicker. Setup teams doing more damage the closer you get when they have a suppression weapon. 424, 484, and Guardians and Guardsmen. These guys have their Commissar leader now. Most likely going to see plasma guns on these guys, both of them probably, to combat the heavy armor of the Space Marines. Chimera on the field for Angry Bird. 424, 484. Putin, he might change this flamer to a missile launcher. Has some devastators now. Autark is going to catch them though. Leaps into combat, knocking one over, and now has tied them up with her power sword. Nice play from HansMoleman, and forces off the devastators. Can she get another model loss? I don't think so. 412, 484 hit is the Chimera. Force commander in amongst stuff. Grenades dropped. He has no war gear, this guy. Levels to 2. And is persuaded to leave by a big fat Chimera on the VP. 402, 484. Marco Tzeentch, Havocs. Now, going to have a las cannon. 395, 484. It's a 2-to-1 cap for red. And they are pushing this power again. Warlock gets her Executioner Spear. Has the hammer icon, but it's actually a power weapon. And some pretty nice DPS, as you can see there, on such a fast jumping around unit. 385, 484. Generators completely wiped. Warlock almost taken down there. Marco Tzeentch CSM. We see Judgment go up on those Chaos Space Marines from the Inferno pistol. Inquisitor is inside his Chimera though. 374, 484. Red team keeping his 2-to-1 up. Blue team though pushing their natural victory point. Red team have been doubling the west side quite a lot, leaving the center open. HansMoleman pulling back this shuriken. And we have double plasma gun guardsman, do we? For Raptor, yes we do. Going to be fully upgraded as well. That's some serious range firepower. Force commander goes down. Looks like he has the power fist. Chimera will now need to be very careful. So much pressure on that west side from the red team. Now they're coming back center. 352, 484. Putin under the Kosh. Has a las cannon now. Blood Crusher on the way for NoisyElmo. Blue team again decapping red's natural. Camping outside it pretty much is F22. Here comes HansMoleman with a shuriken and an Autark. Gets too close though to the Commissar and is forced to retreat. Autark jumps away, doesn't really want to tangle with Catacombs, I don't think, with half her hit points. Commissar Lord should be going down and does. Autark inspiring all of this stuff to do more damage when she took down that Commissar. Often overlooked passive ability that she has is her buffs. Some retreat grenades, can't quite hit those Catacombs, and here come a bunch of Chaos stuff. We have Plague Marines, double Chaos Space Marines, Heretics worshipping them all with Noggle worship. Force Commander's back to his feet. Fully kitted out now. Artificer, Teleporter Pack, and his Fist. 352-478. Huge blob of red stuff. Blue team don't have any artillery though. Oh yes they do. Putin has a plasma cannon bodice on the west side. Tzeentch, Havoc not doing a thing with that las cannon, needs to back off. And a full retreat here from Vlad. Judgment has gone up on these heretics from Angry Bird's Inquisitor. She's fully kitted out as well. Interrogators and the Mandate. Force Commander teleporting in. Disrupting with that Power Fist. With Battle Cry. Taking a lot of damage though from those guardsmen. And he needs to retreat. That was a bit too over eager, overextending his Force Commander there. And he might go down in retreat. That's a lot of firepower. Does get away. 28 hit points. I don't think this Devastators will though. And they go down. What was he doing putting it in this building? 352-444 with double battle equipment guardians around. That's not a good idea. Autark is going to try and take this west side up against scouts with their Sergeant 352-438. It's a 2-to-1 cap. Wraith Guard on the field for HansMoleman. Short range artillery. Huge damage potential versus all targets. And they also suppress infantry as well. Sentinel goes down to those plasma guns. Inquisitor runs away. Sorcerer has the Rod of Warpfire. Fantastic special attack. Sending these guardsmen flying. Commissar goes down again. And Sorcerer levels to 4. NoisyElmo kicking some guardsmen arse. You have some Nurgle worship here. Putin trying to hold up on Blue's natural here. Needs to try and defend long enough for F22 to get back into this fight. Now has a Manticore on the field. Can he get a nasty shot on this stuff? Chaos Sorcerer hanging around with 6 hit points here. And there's a Manticore strike. Sorcerer teleports out and takes out about 4 or 5 guardsmen, maybe 6. Ouch, Wraith Guard, really bad news for those heretics. Grenades going in as well. HansMoleman is going to lock down this VP with a shuriken, I think, or at least try to. Warlock is decapping. He's now fully kitted out, has Cloak of Shadows and Warp Throw. You barely ever see this armor. West side turns blue. Catacons now have their Sarge, so they have a soft vehicle counter. Warlock goes down. Just a few seconds of those Catacons shooting at him, and down he went. Plasma Cannon gets a shot off on those Guardians. Ouch, they have their Warlock leader, but took 2 losses there. Chaos Sorcerer still hanging around, 37 hit points. There's a Noxious Cloud from Vlad, global ability of the Plague Champion, and it's going to do a lot of damage to those Guardsmen. Not getting in the Chimera, just toughing it out, trying to repair it, and he's going to lose this thing. And he might lose all of his Guardsmen as well. That was devastating losses for Angry Bird. Almost lost his entire army. Putin also almost lost his entire army. Has Tactical Marines left, and that is it. Level 3 tax. We have some level 3 Guardsmen. Huge losses on both sides there. What is this? It's an Inquisitor capping the west side. She is level 3. Chaos Sorcerer did go down incidentally. Taking a huge risk staying in the field there. Commissar Lord back to his feet. Has the flak jacket. And is now getting stubbornness. 3, 4, 5, 4, 18. Here comes a Mark of Khorne CSM, but this is way too much stuff for them to take on. Lose a model. Almost losing 2. Quite lucky not to, in fact. We have Mark of Tzeentch and Mark of Khorne CSM from NoisyElmo. 337, 418. Blue team completely pushing back here and are taking Red's natural. They do have the west side. 331, 418, 2-to-1 cap for Red. Not for long though. It's going to be a 2-to-1 for Blue. Tier 3 for Angry Bird right about now. Most likely gonna save for a Baneblade, aren't they? We have some Havocs with Mark of Khorne, gives them an auto cannon. Good damage versus all targets with small AoE. Does not suppress though, like the Heavy Bolter. They seem to be line of sight blocked, cannot shoot the Plague Marines, now they can. There's some decent damage to them, as you can see. 2-to-1 cap for blue. Can they hold on to this VP? You might see a turret or maybe a Nurgle Shrine to help them hold. Double Wraith Guard for HansMoleman. This range blob needs to be very, very careful. Look how blobbed up they are. Heretics with touch of Nurgle trying to get into melee, but they absolutely get owned. One of them falls from the sky. Play champion, I think, with the mucus discharge, yes. Commissar Lord now tying up his Wraith Guard. Unable to fire from that position because of line of sight, needing to get very, very close. Now getting shots off, but HansMoleman needs to retreat, I think, losing a bunch of models. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Here comes F22's range blob. Catechins, fully upgraded guardsman. Level 2 Catechins. Triple cap for blue. Red team under some serious fire. HansMoleman goes tier 3. West side taken for blue team. Mark of Quant CSM coming in. But they need to come together really to stand a chance. Mucus discharge heal again going off from Vlad's Plague Champion. Level 4 now, and this is a serious push from the blue team. Wow. Red team taking devastating losses there. We have a Mark of Tzeentch Havoc squad. Look at the range it has, that last cannon. Force Commander taken down on the west side. He's gone down quite a few times, hasn't he? Tactical Marines retreat with 2 models, level 3. Inquisitor capping the west side. Need to rally, says HansMoleman. Blue team looking so strong now. In the center in a way. Red team still have the units to come back. Angry Bird rebuilding his army with some more guardsmen and some stormtroopers. 330, 264. And it's not far away from a Baneblade, just needs some requisition now. Blue team slowly being pushed back. Autarch leading the charge with the shield up and spear poking stuff. Shuriken needs to get a bit closer here. Heretics surviving all of those tremendous losses for Vlad. Back in the field now. Here's some Nurgle worship. He's going to try and hold against his double Wraith Guard. Plague Marines going into force melee. Good play from Vlad. 327, 242. Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines, such good damage output versus all infantry. And look at this, forcing him back with double Plague Marines forcing melee on those Wraith Guard, preventing them from firing their ranged weapons and slowing them down. Here we have Tome of Subjugation on these Plague Marines, sending them around to melee their own troops. That's an ability of the Chaos Sorcerer. And looks like Vlad has finally been persuaded to leave. Very, very good play. Ouch. Plasma grenade on those retreating units. Takes out 2 models. Held up red team a lot. 2-to-1 cap now for red though. 289, 242. VP still quite close. And we have some Deathwing Terminators on the field for Putin with an assault cannon. Guardsmen cannot hang with this at all. Tactical Marines with their Sergeant in cover as well. Looks like Terminator's going to force melee. There is a rocket run on attacks. Ouch. Can he wipe this squad? Not quite. They get away with 2 models. 271, 242. Terminator, sorry, will cap the west side. And blue team will get a 2-to-1 and they have some pretty decent map control here. Baneblade though hits the field for Angry Bird. Deathly Black. Can he push the west side with it, or is he going to push the center with it? Double Wraith Guard haven't leveled yet, but they don't have Wraithbone, so they can self-heal themselves. Something very sneaky. Decap Blue's natural, that was the Autarch, could prove to be vital. 256, 242. Red team have this single now. Terminator is unable to cap. They have Judgment down on them from the Inferno pistol. Should be capping and shooting really, I think. Mandate goes up. Baneblade doing some serious damage with those heavy bolters it has to the Force Commander, and he needs to retreat. Judgment went off on those Terminators, but they stick it out, suppressing the Inquisitor now with their assault cannon, and there is a big demolition cannon hit. Inquisitor retreats. And now Putin's going to get some help from Vlad. 235, 242. Red team still recovering themselves in the north. Looks like they're going to try and push right now. Terminators lose a model. Manticore strike on the Baneblade. Big hits. Wow, look at the damage it took. Double Plague Marines here as well, getting missile launchers in. Doom Bolts goes off. Didn't do a lot of damage, did it to those Plague Marines. Demolition Cannon again on those tacks. How are these guys still alive? They're level 4. Now we have Guardsmen repairing, but there is a Noxious Cloud. Global ability of the Plague Champion, so dangerous to Imperial Guard and forces off all of those Guardsmen. Now this Baneblade has no support. We could see these Guardians try and repair it, and there we go. Blue team have taken the west side. It's a 2-to-1 cap for them. And here we see some Nurgle worship. Vlad looking very strong, but he has some serious amount of upkeep. Is he going to go tier 3? Doesn't have any red. 234, 227. Autarch harassing Blue's natural here. Blue have a full gen farm in the center. Manticore strike goes off, getting big hits again on that Baneblade. And we see Wraithbone used by the Wraith Guard, losing their Warlock leaders though and need to retreat. What was that? Emperor's Wrath? It was. Big hit on the Baneblade there. Now he switches back to Stubbornness. Huge engagement on this west side. Force Commander teleports in, Flesh over Steel on the Baneblade, and they should be able to take this thing out now surely. 235, 206. Force Commander getting rear armor hits. And down it goes with the double Plague Marines firing as well. Surely it's going to go down. There it goes. Force Commander needs to run away now, because Ogrins are in there smacking on him. Getting their Bonehead leader. 235, 196. Vlad so strong though on this west side. Able to stand against pretty much anything with double Plague Marines under Nurgle worship. Mucus discharge as well. And has Armor of Pestilence for this guy. Is he going to get the Plague Fist? Shuriken Cannon for HansMoleman is level 2, quite close to level 3. Predator tank for Putin. Where is Terminators? They're coming back out of base, now reinforced. Avatar of Cain on the way for HansMoleman. Great Unclean One on the way for NoisyElmo, and red team have a 2-to-1. Angry Bird not happy with Vlad, I think. 222, 196. Predator getting extra armor and the twin-link las cannon for Putin, putting a lot of resources into this thing, needs to look after it. 214, 196. Angry Bird pushing the west side again with these really weird looking Ogrins. Catacom's level to 3. Putting some improvised explosives on these stairs. Infiltrated because they're idle. Blue team take the natural back, and they now have a 2-to-1. Can Angry Bird push back after losing that Baneblade? Ogrins going into melee the Terminators. They will hold them up in melee, but I don't think they can take them out. Especially with Force Commander support here coming in with that Power Fist. Ogrins lose 2 models. 211, 184. And Guardsmen run away. Level 4 Guardsmen. These guys still level 1. Blue team with some huge map control. Can red team push back with 2 super units? Avatar and Great Unclean One side by side. Avatar a bit more killy with Wailing Doom, can put out some serious losses. Great Unclean One basically just a massive walking wall to try and get past. 211, 165. And they are leading the charge on this west side. There's a Manticore strike from Raptor. Raptor has a Baneblade out of his own. Where is it though? It's going up the east side. Blue team pushing against Red's natural. HansMoleman here trying to defend. Gets a grenade on the Plague Champion, and he is now level 6 with a Plague Fist. Shuriken Cannon smacked around by the Commissar Lord. Big Eldritch Storm on that blob. That is crazy. grief. Vlad losing tons and tons of models. Looks like he didn't lose a squad. Has level 4 and level 3 CSM, has level 2 and level 3 Plague Marines, but that is some serious reinforcing he's going to have to do now. An epic Eldritch Storm from HansMoleman. Meanwhile, Avatar of Cain on the west side has just under 3,000 hit points. Wraith Guard healing themselves with Wraithbone, and red team taking this west side. Great and Clean One also hanging around. NoisyElmo, his heretics are back at base, so he can't worship the Great and Clean One right now. This is F22's Baneblade, almost wiping those stormtroopers with a single shot assault kit on these guys for Angry Bird. Angry Bird getting another Baneblade of his own. 206.99. Can red team push back? They have a bit of momentum now after those huge losses that Vlad took. He's still at base, licking his wounds, now coming back out. Plague Champion, level 6.5. Red team have the west. Blue team still have the central resource points though. And a Wraith Lord now for HansMoleman. Chaos Predator for NoisyElmo. Angry Bird's second Baneblade almost halfway done. Wraith Guard defending against Tactical Marines. There is Foul Snare, and Force Commander's in big trouble now. Avatar and Great and Clean One wailing on him. There's a Manticore Strike on those Wraith Guard. Big hits. They are very tough though, and survive it. Didn't lose a model either. They could use Wraithbone, heal themselves back up. Marco Tzeentch, sorry, Lascannon Predator getting shots off on the Inquisitor, trying to take it out with her Inferno pistol, but she herself is forced off. 169.99. Blue team putting pressure on Red's Natural again with this Baneblade of F22. Here comes the Wraith Lord, shoulder mounted Cherokee Cannon now getting Wraithbone as well. 163.99. It's a lot of resources spent on this Wraith Lord. Need some support here. Look at this blob again. Do red team have another nuke? Angry Bird almost has another rocket run. There's an orbital bombardment of all things from Putin. Completely wasted, pretty much as it always is. Here comes the Great and Clean One. It's going to puke. Didn't hit anything. That was just a special attack. Not exact ability. Wailing Doom on this huge blob. Ouch. That is some serious losses. Look at that. Vlad just didn't see the Avatar coming in behind, and there is Wrath of Cain on the retreating units. Huge damage from this thing. It can be so killy, the Avatar. HansMoleman giving out a washout here. Demolisher Cannon on the Great and Clean One. Avatar now going back to base. Great and Clean One waddling after this thing. Foul Snare on the Commissar Lord takes him down. Emperor's Wrath still went off though. 124.99. Vlad taking some absolutely crazy damage. He's lucky that these things are so leveled up, or he would have lost everything. West side now red. Angry Bird has his second Baneblade. His weird jet black Ogrins force off the Terminators. Judgment is up on them. 104.99. Inquisitor level 5. HansMoleman's Warlock level 4 now has the Witchblade of Kurnus, Warp Throw, and that Cloak of Shadows. Chaos Sorcerer level 10 for NoisyElmo, Tome of Subjugation, Vestments for the Warp, and Sword of Flame. Force Commanders level 6, Plague Champion level 7, Commissar Lord level 5, and down. Red team now have Blue's Natural and are camped outside it with a bunker. Looks like it's a medical bunker. And there's Warp Throw into Ethereal Slash from the Warlock. Ouch. And red team have a triple. And there's an Imperial Abyss from NoisyElmo, I assume, absolutely wiping those heretics. And Vlad's big, strong blob of range stuff getting decimated again. Here is the triple cap. F22 bringing his Baneblade in. Red team storming into the lead. West side under some pressure though from this Force Commander. Big Demolisher Cannon hit stops the decap. Scout trying to decap again. Hammer of the Witches on the Force Commander. There is the double though, and blue team have run out of time. Victory for red team. What a comeback. The Eldritch Storm and that Wailing Doom, some of the most epic I have seen. Thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next time.